Business marketing, pathway students, multimedia freshmen, it's time to get into the most exciting part of the class. Well, for some of us anyway. Not for everybody. It's coding. We are going to code. We are going to learn coding languages, the basics. We're going to be doing HTML, CSS, and maybe a little JavaScript. And by the time we get to the end of the year, you will have built a simple website using these coding techniques. There was an invitation sent to you in your Gmail account that looks exactly like what is on the screen here. So that's how you're going to join the Khan Academy class. We're going to go through the first lessons together today. So you'll watch the videos and then do the exercises together. This video will be attached to the assignment for those who may not have been in class, or if you aren't able to finish during class, you can come and refer back to this assignment. So once you click that button, it should take you right into Khan Academy. And here, and I believe I already assigned some stuff. So here's the assignments. And this is what we'll be doing in class right here. So the things you'll turn in are just 2 challenges today, which is write a poem and you can learn tags. But we're going to get started with the video parts, and we will go from there.
Website to decide where to go on an exotic trip, or a news website to figure out what's going on in the world. And of course, you must be using the Khan Academy website to learn. So, what's your favorite website? Actually, I have a better question. What website do you wish existed but doesn't yet? Maybe a website about yourself or about something that you love? The cool thing is you can program a website yourself, and you can learn how to do it here on Khan Academy. Start brainstorming what you want to make, because you'll be able to do it soon enough. First, let's back up a bit and clear up some terminology. What is the web exactly? Well, like I said, it's a bunch of connected computers that have websites. When a computer is connected to the web and spitting out a website, we call the computer a server, because it's serving the website. A website is written using 3 languages: HTML for marking up the website content, CSS for styling it, and JavaScript for making it interactive. How do users like you actually see those websites? Well, you use an app dedicated for website browsing, like Chrome, Firefox, or Internet Explorer. And we call those apps browsers. Browsers try to all show the same website the same way, but they do have their differences, which is why we sometimes say, oops, there's a bug in that browser, try another one. Which browser are you using right now? Well, you must be using that browser from some sort of device, like a laptop, phone, tablet, or even smart TV. And we call those devices clients. Clients can be really different. Some are way smaller than others, some have touch screens, others have keyboards, some are black and white. So websites have to try to work well in all sorts of clients. What client are you using right now? And that's the web. Well, the 2-minute version. There's lots more to learn about the web, but now I think it's about time to start having you write some HTML and CSS to make your own web pages.
Okay, now they have this little quick tip HTML tags page, which I'll probably attach to every assignment, at least the first few, so we understand it. So before we get into HTML tagging, here's kind of like the nomenclature, or how the various parts work out. So you have an opening tag and a closing tag. Most closing tags, you'll see the / to delineate that it is closing. Not always the case, but most of the time you will see a closing tag like that. Then you've got the content in between the tags. And the element, in this case the P, which stands for paragraph, is the letter that's inside of the carets, open caret, close caret. The closing tag always comes after the content of the tag. It's how the browser knows that you want the tag to end. The contents of an HTML tag are the stuff that goes between the opening and closing tags. This is what we mean when we say inside a tag. The contents of a tag can be normal text or a mix of other tags. So where should your tags go? Any content that is visible on your web page should go between the opening body tag and the closing body tag, like in the screenshot below. So we have that's the closing body tag, opening body tag, and then these are the things that will actually show up on your website. These are all things that have to do with like the titling and how it catalogs on the internet. H1 and P tags are the contents of the body tag. So we say they're inside the body tag. H1 and P, so those are children to the parent tag, which is the body. In fact, those tags must go inside the body tag. So remember that when you're writing your HTML in your first challenge. So we're going to go try that first challenge now.
Welcome to my webpage. I know, it's not a very exciting webpage. It's completely blank. But every webpage starts that way, and I'll show you how to build up this page soon. First, though, give me a minute to show you around the skeleton of a blank webpage. Every webpage starts with this funny-looking thing called a doc type at the top. And this is just a signal to the browser that this webpage is written in modern HTML, and not a kludgy old weird HTML. Next, to the very first tag of the page. HTML is a markup language, so it's all about tags. And a tag is one of these things that starts with an angle bracket and ends with another angle bracket. Or if you like math, you might think of them as less than and greater than signs. The first tag of every page is always that HTML tag right under the doc type. This one is the start HTML tag, and then at the bottom, there's this end HTML tag, which is the same except for this backslash, which is really important. The HTML tag needs to contain every other tag that makes up this web page, and that's why we don't have the end HTML tag until the bottom. A lot of HTML tags come in pairs like this, but not all of them. Okay, underneath HTML, there's always a head tag, and that contains tags that helps the browser render the page, but doesn't contain anything the user actually sees. There's this meta tag that gives the browser more details about how to render the page. For example, if you're using common characters like from English language, and not harder to render characters like from the Arabic language, then you should have meta char set equals UTF-8. Then there's this title tag, which the browser uses to decide the title of the page. And this is what shows in the tab on top of browsers, and in bookmarks, and in search results. And here on Khan Academy, the title shows up above our webpage. Let me change the title. I'm going to make a page all about rabbits. So I'll say, all about rabbits. And maybe you can actually see as it changes above. Nice. Okay, now we're done with these details. So we end the head tag and move on to the tag where it's all going to happen, the body tag. It's pretty boring right now, just the start and the end. Okay, what should I add? Well, I'm making a webpage about rabbits, so I should probably declare that in a big old headline at the top. To add a headline, we use the H1 tag. And all about rabbits. Great. Actually, we have 6 tags that we could use for headlines. H1, H2, H3, H4, H5, and H6. The H1 is for the most important headlines on the page, and H6 is the least important. Let me add a few more headlines for other sections, and I'll use an H2 since these are slightly less important sections. And some songs. Okay, great. Now let's add some information. Well, my target audience for this page is aliens that have never seen rabbits, so I better give them a good description of rabbits. In fact, I think I need a whole paragraph of information. How can I mark up a paragraph in HTML? With the P tag, of course. So we put in that P tag, and then I'm just going to go ahead and paste in the information so that you don't have to watch me type the whole thing. Beautiful. Alright, now the aliens will need a song to greet the rabbits with, so I'll give them lyrics to my personal favorite, and once again, use that P tag for it, and paste in the song, Little Bunny Foo Foo. Ah, such a good song. But, uh-oh, it's showing up all on the same line. How will the aliens know when to pause? Why didn't the browser render the line breaks that I put in here? Well, actually, browsers mostly ignore line breaks and whitespace in your HTML. And if we want the browser to render a line break, we have to tell it explicitly using another tag, the BR tag, which stands for break. So we'll go through and add BRs after each line. Now it looks like lyrics. Do you notice something funny about BR? There's no end tag. Well, if you think about it, a line break doesn't contain any content, so it has nothing to end after. Just the start tag is all we need. And there we have it. The aliens will learn the basics of rabbits, and you...
Okay, so now that we've learned about the tags that we're going to be using, so we're going to be using a heading tag and a paragraph tag in our challenge. The first challenge is called Write a Poem. And so we're going to go over here. I've already written out my texts, but I just want to point out how you would do this. So in the H1 is our title. So my title over here is showing up as Left-Handed Genius. And I've used an H1 tag to do that. So if I were to take these out of here, which I will. Actually, I'll just duplicate. Let's take it off. Let's do this. Let me put this on a different text so I can show you how that's done. Yeah. Take all this out of here and show you from the beginning what we need to do. So in between the body tags, your very first direction is use the H1 tag to do the heading or the title of your poem. Okay, so to do the title of our poem, we're going to go in between our body tags because that's what we want to show up over on our actual web page, and we're going to do the H1 tag. So you caret H1, close caret. A lot of times the browser will give you your closing tag that's got the // and my title is going to be Left-Handed Genius. Okay. And then now we have to write the paragraph of our poem, which is the words. So we'll do caret P caret, and that's the paragraph tag. And we can do the close tag at the same time and then just write in between. So I'm going to put my poem in there like I did before. Alright, so now that we've got our lines in there, they're all in one line, and so to make it look like a poem, we have to put our break tags in. So we're going to go over here and do our break tag, BR. It doesn't need a close tag because we're not actually putting text in between anything, we're just breaking lines. So we can do BR over here, BR here, and we should be good to go. And since that's our last line, we don't need to do a break. We would if we were to add more text. So now this is ready to go, and this guy says, hey, you're doing great. Okay, so the next step is that we spin this off. So this is really important. This is how you turn this in. You click spin off first. You're saving it as, and we're going to put our name so we know that it's ours. You press save, and then it's going to reload the page so that you can get the link. So you click this share button, triple click here, Control C to copy, and then you go to the assignments. Let me show that real quick. If I go to the student side here, go to Intro to HTML Coding, and this is where you put it. So add link and paste, and that's how you do it. I'm going to do it again because I've got both of them sitting there for this assignment. So now we'll move on to the second part of this assignment, which is, so I'm going to save that just in case. And so I'm going to go here to Learner Home, or I could have done the backspace, I guess. And we're going to go to the assignments. And the next part is our text emphasis. So we're going to watch a video first and then do the challenge.
Welcome back! Are you feeling a little more comfortable with HTML tags now that you've typed some yourself? We have a bunch more tags to cover, so you'll be tagging all over the place soon. Now, do you remember this paragraph about rabbits? I'm a bit worried that the aliens might read it in a monotone voice, and they won't pay attention to the really important words and phrases in it. So I want to mark up the parts that they should emphasize. We can start by using the M tag, which stands for emphasis. We use it whenever we want to indicate where we'd emphasize a word while speaking. Like, if I want the aliens to say the most orange vegetables in our world, then I can wrap R. The browser will see the M and then italicize the text inside of it to show the emphasis. Now the aliens will really realize that I'm talking about our world, not theirs, because I don't know anything about their world and what their vegetables look like. What if the aliens are just skimming the text? What if they don't even read the entire amazing paragraph that I wrote? In that case, I want to make sure a few key phrases stand out, and I can use the strong tag for that. Probably the most important fact is how much rabbits reproduce, because I wouldn't want aliens taking rabbits home with them and then being mad at us when the rabbits eventually overpopulate them and take over their government. So, I will write this back. Strong tag. Alright, the browser will see the strong and then bold the text inside of it to make sure that it stands out. We can even combine M and strong and put them inside each other. Like if I want the aliens to say more than any human ever has, then I can wrap the ever in an M. Okay, now I'm happy. I think they'll really pay attention. And now you've got 2 more tags under each one. Use them, but don't abuse them.
Okay, so now we're going to do the actual challenge. So the challenge is we're going to be using the emphasis tags and the strong tags to make these lines either bold or emphasized. So I'll start over again and I'll show you how that works. So using the strong tag first, I'll do the caret tag, strong, and then I'm going to do the whole line. And so I'm going to do forward like that. So that's an open and close tag. So now we have our bolded line. Let's do another line because I think they want 2 pieces. So we're going to do strong here, and then we'll do a close strong over here. Gives us a second line bolded. Now let's do emphasize. So I'm going to emphasize words. EM and EM / EM for the close. And then let's do confusing as an EM. So caret. And on the other side, the closing caret / And we've got 2 emphasized words now. So confusing and what was the other one? And thankfully. So once again, you do spin off, you save it with your name, like so, and then you press save, and you're going to click the share button, triple click here, so it highlights, Control C, go back to the assignment, add, link, paste. And again, I'm not going to put it there because I already did, and then you'll turn this sucker in, and your first coding assignment is done. Alright. So reference this video if you need to, if you didn't get it done in class, or if you weren't here. This is what we're doing in coding. See you back in class.